You ready?
Podcast! So welcome to this episode of Kony's podcast! Yay! So we're actually at a special location. I think Dane tweeted it that we're in a location where our special guest is residing. Wow, residing.
This is where the magic happens in editing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
The podcast.
So every time that we give her an hour and a half of raw files, this is where the magic happens. Our special guest for today is none other than PD-nim!
Yay!
Hi guys! I don't know kailan lalabas ng episode na to. Oh, I remember. Oh, we're Taglish. But I'll try to do a lot of English. Because I heard from Pao and Dane that we have a lot of non-Filipino listeners also. So, hi
Like
guys!
2 people.
The 2 non-Filipino listeners. Hi!
Of course, since it's her debut in our podcast, so PD-nim, we will be asking some questions about you.
Okay.
So, as you all know, and I think we have mentioned in our previous podcasts, that PD-nim's bias is none other than our beloved leader Nim. So, si Hanbin yung bias niya.
Yes.
Okay. One thing that Dane and I do not know is who is the bias wrecker of PD-nim. So, PD-nim, can you please
Enlighten
grace us
us.
Yeah.
with your answer?
I was surprised na hindi kayo aware of my bias record. Bihira din kasi akong nag-mention din na parang, oh yeah, this is my bias record. For me, as of now, the first one I can think of is Chanwoo. Chanwoo's my bias record. For me, Chanwoo is my bias record. I think it's more of the circumstances wherein he entered iKON #1 before Mix and Match. More or less, I have my ranking in a way of like who do I like more than whom. And then, here comes this super young boy, but super cute boy.
Jailbait
Oh,
pa ba siya?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
who played the young
All of
Lee
them
Min Ho.
were.
So I'm like,
Oh, that's
diba?
true.
So I was thinking like, who is this kid? And then I'm not sure if he'll win pa, and he'll potentially wreck the lineup of the original 6. So
Oh, yeah.
you know that worrying, that worrying feeling that is very traditionally attributable to a bias wrecker.
That's
So
true.
I think he embodies that. And of course, when you see Chanwoo in person, you'll see there's a glow, this
That's
youthful
Even
glow.
without makeup.
Yeah. I think we had a moment sa concert. Talagang nagtitigan
Oh, yeah.
ka. Wreck me more. Wreck me more. Okay, that's it. So yeah.
Surprise yun
He's
for
my
me.
bias wrecker.
I was thinking that it's gonna be like double B. That Bobby is the bias wrecker.
Ah.
But yeah, that's actually a surprise.
Can believe
Yeah,
it.
for him, Chan parang susupot-supot and then you get reminded na parang, oh yeah, he's so cute. I was gonna say hot, pero given our age, I feel like it's a bit
Yeah.
wrong, pero yeah.
PD-nim
As
is
in-
our Oni. She also knows Korean.
Yeah, she knows Korean better than I do.
Yeah.
So the second question is, what is your favorite iKON moment?
My favorite iKON moment, I think with all Filipino iKONics, is still the Rainbow Project during the concert last year here in Manila. Kudos also to all the fan clubs who contributed to that project kasi it's really amazing. I wasn't really expecting anything based from our instructions in the first place. Just to give you a scenario, when we approached our seats, we got our own placards with the message.
Yeah.
Then at the corner, there's a sticker. And then there's instructions there, put it in our phones for the light during this time, blah, blah. But I didn't imagine the effect that it
That's so
gave.
true.
So, give me chills talaga. I was teary-eyed throughout the entire song. And sobrang laser-eye ako sa stage kasi I was willing someone to cry. Like, one member
One of the
please
iKON.
cry. If I was in their place, I would have cried. I would have bawled. Of course, iKON, they're singing live. I guess they're also trying to preserve din, syempre, yung singing voices nila na maganda pa rin yung song. So, I think they held it in. Pero hindi ko bibigay na si Yoon eh.
I know.
yeah.
Tsaka si Dong
Parang-
yeah. Ayan, mukhang bibigay na sila eh. Pero, by the time na natapos na yung song, oh no, anyway.
Yeah.
So for me, yun yung most memorable moment
That's so cute.
of my iKON fan life.
And that's saying something because you've had a lot of iKON moments,
Yeah.
such as what we'd like you to describe because Mel and I weren't there. So, PD-nim is an OG iKONic.
Yeah.
She was there at, what's it called? The debut,
Debut showcase. Yeah.
Yes. Like, literally their first official concert
Was
as
it a
iKON.
coincidence that you had like a Korea trip
I think the showcase was October. And then that year, I've already been to Korea like 3 times already. And then my family scheduled a Korea trip for October. So, since it's not a free trip, even if my family's there, I told them that I won't go with them because I've already gone a couple of times in Korea that year. But as soon as in-announce yung debut showcase, it coincided during the time when my family will be going there. So, I'm like, okay, I'm now part of the trip.
So, hindi siya pumunta for Korea para sa family.
No, definitely. No, not
Just to
yeah.
be here.
Yeah.
It's for
Hierarchy of needs. Yung fangirl. Saka doon yung familial,
You see them all the time. So.
Yeah.
Right.
If my family wasn't going there, I wouldn't also have flown out. But since they're going there, so at least free accommodation. Because at that time, I'm also not sure if I'm gonna get the ticket. It was a weird experience because I don't have anyone else with me, so it's so hard to fangirl
alone.
I remember that I don't have portable internet with me.
Yeah,
Because I remember like during the concert, I was texting you guys, and I'm like, oh my god, my bill's gonna go straight up.
Yes.
Because I have to like text my feels. So, okay, fine. It's like how many pesos per text. I don't understand a lot of Korean. So, and my seat was actually a bit far. Pero okay lang kasi it's their first outing. And it's not really like a full-fledged concert, obviously, because their discography is not that wide yet. This is the debut showcase wherein like they had girls coming on the
fans,
stage.
Yeah.
With
They came out in the bus.
Yeah. I barely remember what happened. The standout moments for me during that debut showcase was, of course, Climax. So first time
my gosh.
so it's the first time I heard Climax. I think I cried, but not like super ugly crying. Bro, I think I cried during that time. And then I remembered when they had girls on stage. I was super honed into Bobby and the girl because they were at the side. And they're really talking a lot while the game was ongoing.
Trying to remember who Bobby picked. Anyway.
Yeah, it's not like the other members with the girls. If it's not their turn for the game, they're just sitting down or like
next to each other.
or like maybe they exchange something, but like just the niceties.
Yeah.
But when I was looking at Bobby and the girls, like it's like they're catching
they're
up on
friends.
whatever, like something like that.
Pao over here is
Yeah,
like
sorry,
upset.
Pao.
Sorry.
But it's
The
okay
bias,
because I
the
remembered
flirty
like
bias.
Hanbin
Hanbin
chose the
picked a
sexiest
really
girl.
pretty one.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
the
I
sexiest,
remember
prettiest
that.
girl.
Na-hurt ka ba na?
The fact na si stream pala siya with everyone. I didn't know na
We
si
were
stream
watching
pala.
on V-Live.
Yeah.
With like
Yeah.
subtitles.
It's like, I don't have subtitles. It's like, I don't understand what's
Yeah.
going on compared to like my friends back in the Philippines. Yeah, it was a fun,
And you got the con badge.
Yeah. Na during the night, I was in Hongdae. That's where I usually stay. And then it suddenly lit up.
Oh my
So
God.
I thought it's like a coded message for all iKONics.
Oh
no!
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
I think I messaged you guys and I'm like, it's blinking. I thought like there's a secret message for iKONics like to converge somewhere, then we're gonna do something. It's like a secret concert.
That is such a
So-
big problem. You should bring out that bag. You never know when
Yeah.
Hanbin is like trying to
Oh
reach
my
us
god!
right now.
And
you
he's
know?
like doing Morse code. Just to show my age, I just watched Executive Decision in Netflix. Which I watched, I think, in Betamax when I was young. So, like, the Morse code with the lights. With the contact.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
do Morse code. Like, this is my next song. I'll Morse code the entire lyrics. Release it under your name, because...
And it's a good segue to the main portion
Yeah.
of this episode. You know, like all our fanfic theories and ideas. Because you all know we like to write fics. Actually, we like to think them up and then hope that they just get written on the book, which obviously doesn't happen.
In the case of PD-nim and I, it's always, it already happened in
It
our
already
heads.
happened.
And we're happy that
It's
it
fine.
did.
During our early fanfic writing, you said, I have to write this down.
Yeah.
And then now you have accepted, the limits. Limits of the mind, the
Yeah.
fingers,
Your time,
your
and
time.
everything.
Yes. Now
Just
you're more
imagine it.
realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're at peace with that.
Which is why, for this episode, we're gonna play another game again because we like playing games. Everyone, all 5 of you listening, welcome to the iKON Film Festival.
Yay!
Also
Also
known
known-
as the Big IFF. Because that's 2 Fs.
Oh, 2 Fs.
So what is the iKON Film Festival? So, we have two random wheel generators here with us. So, one is a wheel of movie genres. And then, the second one is a wheel of the member names of iKON. So, the goal of each of us is to create a pitch of a movie starring an iKON member. So, the movie has to be in the genre that the random generator generates. But there's a twist pa. On top of the random genre and then the random member, we will give a random word that that person has to incorporate into their pitch. Yeah. So let's pretend we're like, what are we? Producers or Hollywood agents?
Yeah. No, we're pitching to the producers, right?
We're pitching to the producers,
like
the
script
screenwriters,
maybe the director, maybe.
Yeah. So
bilang marami kaming fix sa utak namin.
So, you know, let's capitalize on that without actually writing anything. Because we're lazy SFs. Anyway. Before we start, as usual, let's do a test round. Siyempre, we have to give each other time to like think of our pitches. And our time limit will be decided by iKON actually. Because we're using a soundbite of theirs. Which I know is very familiar to you guys. So this is the sound that we'll play as we think of our pitches.
Song of the year.
Song of the year.
Yeah. Song of the year.
It's so mentally stimulating. It will help us in our pitches.
So totally not distracting at all.
Okay, so then.
Yeah. So there's like 30 seconds of that.
Yeah.
So we have about 30 seconds to think of our pitch. So for the test round, whoever gets generated on the member wheel, the person who has that bias will be the first person. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So you know from the get-go that Pao is at a disadvantage.
Pao is at a disadvantage.
And it doesn't matter if you're the first one.
Hindi ko alam kung bakit biglang nagkaroon ako ng 5 bias.
So I'm gonna generate now, okay?
Okay.
Game.
It's
Wow.
not my bias.
This episode because the winner is Hanbin.
I really have to be the one who will baptize our
Yeah.
ceremony.
Yeah.
Okay, game.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm gonna spin the genre wheel. Oh, it suddenly has a sound. Not sure what happened. So,
Fantasy.
it's fantasy.
Okay, and then Dane.
Hanbin. Oh my gosh! Oh, the word is unicorn.
Unicorn.
Are you ready, PD-nim?
To think.
Okay, yes. Sige, I'll try to, meron akong prompt, but I'll try to make it.
Polish it. Yeah, because you know, you have to sell it.
You have a head start. Go. You have to make sure
I think anything that has unicorns and Hanbin will sell.
Oh my God. I'm excited. Yeah. Dapat pala leprechaun yung sinabi. Ano? Like random.
Okay?
Okay,
So,
time's up.
so please tell us your pitch, Hanbin, fantasy, and unicorn.
I'm laughing right now because I have this visual that what his costume will be.
I love
Anyway,
it.
but it's like a typical, oh no, my age will be betrayed once again. This is something like Fern Gully-ish.
Please explain to our
So sorry,
young
Fern Gully
listeners.
is like this very first generation, I guess, of animated films.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pitch that. So it's very similar to Fern Gully. So Fern
Okay.
Gully, like there's a magical forest where the creatures are threatened, and then they're like, tama ba yung naalala ko?
Tama,
The creatures
tama.
are threatened.
Yeah.
Because of human intervention,
Yeah,
right?
yes, yes.
Who saved the day? Also humans or
Is there
the
a
human
human?
and
the magical
the
creature.
magical
Aren't they
creature.
small
Like
small creatures?
yeah, like mga Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, of course, at the end, humans lose and, you know, the forest wins. Something
Yeah.
like that. Trial round pa ng plot. But no one wins, to be honest.
No one wins, it's fine.
Yeah.
So for my pitch, so there's a magical forest. The unicorns are becoming an endangered species. And then there's like this very precious little boy who's like the shepherd in an adjoining plains.
It's just the cutest
So,
thing.
Please think of not the Hanbin Nugu Opso hair, not the blonde hair, The one before that, the brown with nice highlights na slightly maney, parang horse mane look.
Shepherd-handed.
Of
They
course,
don't have
yes,
better
like
haircuts if
shepherd-handed.
you're like
No, but I
shepherding.
mean, like, just imagine like yung camisole na brown with the strings on the. Sorry, that's my visual. And then of course, parang capri pants. Ish.
In the shaggy hair. Oh my god.
Yeah, fantasy. So may special power din siya to really track all of these endangered unicorns and then help
I
them.
love
So it cannot be any other person. So maybe there's something about his birth.
Yes,
Maybe he's like from a long
There's
line
no-
of
it's in
shepherds.
the genes.
Yeah.
But in like olden times,
Yeah,
they
long-
weren't shepherding sheep, they were shepherding like
Yeah, shepherding
Unicorn.
unicorns. Or, but there was a time, maybe 100 years ago, when unicorns and humans lived together in harmony. And then he'll discover his power, and then he is needed to track all of these unicorns. Obviously, there is a villain.
Oh yeah.
It's a villain,
Who is
of
the
course. Like,
villain?
unicorns are very
I
precious.
think we know
Like
who
you can,
the villain
you can sell like the rainbow mane, right? And all of
Oh,
or that.
for
Oh,
money. Oh,
yeah.
that sounds wildly like
Doesn't care about anything else but getting money. Yeah, those are our villains. So anyway, may naisip na ako ng scenario. He discovers his true powers by meeting this very special unicorn. May mga Seabiscuit-ish. Parang tipo may ESP. This unicorn cannot be tamed, but he tamed that unicorn. So that's my
At some
pitch.
point.
That's my pitch.
that's really
Yeah,
good. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
pressure.
That's our trial round, which took like what, 7 minutes?
That's
Very
actually
vivid
like that.
and
Yeah.
like I can see it. I can totally
You can see it. Can you
it.
see his costume? Na-imagine
Yeah,
ko.
Yes, I can
Yeah.
totally see his costume.
Yeah.
Parang Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good job, good job. Okay,
So-
let's do the genre. Oh no! It's a musical. Oh no, please be Bobby.
Yun yung musical. Pao, what's your word?
Bilang may musical na waitress. Waiter.
Okay.
Oh. Jeopardy song, please.
Let June wear.
I can't think. Oh my gosh. I literally didn't think of anything. I just listened to the damn song. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna make it up like right now. Like the true crammer that I am.
You work better under pressure.
Yeah.
Right? Now
Oh my
na, go.
gosh. This is good because actually I've been thinking about this and I chatted this with you guys before. That I wanted to write, not that I write musicals, but if I were to write a musical, I would write a K-pop themed musical.
You
I did say
mentioned
that. So this is a K-pop musical about Yoon the waiter, in their family restaurant on the outskirts of Seoul in Hanam City. You can start with a big production number of him being a waiter in the restaurant that he's supposed to inherit. So his parents, unlike his parents in real life, really just want him to be, the meat master. He just really they really want him to
The
be
beat tenderer.
they want him to be serious about growing their business, but deep inside he really wants to be a K-pop star. He wants to go to Seoul and be a K-pop idol. So it starts in a musical. I'm thinking like he's a waiter, but then it's a K-pop song. He's like talking about his dreams of becoming like a K-pop star.
Okay.
And it's a big production, but then maka-cut short yung song kasi papasok yung dad niya. Parang, what are you doing? Like, clean up the girls. Ganyan. Parang gano'n.
And then after nun, may segue na parang yung na sad song.
Yeah, yung parang magla-light
Oh,
out.
right,
Tapos
right,
like
right.
spotlight lang on
Spotlight
him.
sa kanya.
Tapos parang magbabalad. So yung una,
And
yung the usual jumpy K-pop song
And
na
yun
may
yung would
choreo.
fit that in.
Oh yeah, yung mga sad-looking face niya. So what will happen is he gets wind of like an audition in Seoul. So he escapes, like he sneaks out of their restaurant and his responsibilities to audition. He meets someone on the bus. I haven't thought about who in. Well, I was thinking of an iKON member. So maybe, sino bang weird? June. I don't know, just cause. So he meets June. And si June, yung super competitive, like, he knows he's gonna be a K-pop idol. Like, I'm gonna do this, ganyan. So parang na-insecurity yun yung ng konti, ganyan. But like, they end up being friends. And then, they also end up like auditioning up for the same thing. and they end up being part of the same like trainee group. So they have to get along, but then they're actually like they don't get along because June is like mayabang and like he's so convinced I'm gonna be the winner, like I'm gonna be like a K-pop idol. But Yoonyoung's like trying his best lang. He has to sneak out pa of the restaurant. But the whole time he thinks na June is like yun nga, against him, ganyan. But there's a couple of times na the parents get wind of Yoonyoung escaping. But June covers for him. So then they become friends and then they debut together. And it's all done in K-pop musical fashion.
In fairness.
Siyempre, yung final song, of course, is the debut song of their group.
Exactly.
Wow. Gusto ko yung naipasok niya si June.
I know.
Parang there's always that portion that you always
sorry.
have to put.
I know. That's
The
But may
bias.
siningit naman din akong other character.
Oh, well, yeah.
That was
Okay.
with Mars.
Yeah.
The Voldemort. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's my
Good
so
work. Oh my god, how long was that? Okay.
Dystopian!
Dystopian.
Wow.
Hanbin.
Wow. Hanbin dystopian helicopter.
Nice.
Alright, so
Are you really thinking?
yeah.
Why not like... That's your lead star.
Yeah. May pagka-dystopic din itong songs.
So yung naisip ko, actually, all the while, lalo na nung lumabas si Hanbin, I was thinking of Divergent.
Oh, okay.
So they're trapped in a village, and the only way out is through a helicopter.
Okay.
Okay. And then, the only people who are allowed to go out of the village would be the village chief and his... Oh my gosh, may villain din. The village chief and the alipores of the village.
Yeah, of course.
For you know, for
The
them
minions.
to hunt
the
for
minions.
food and all that.
But
So,
their way out is the helicopter?
yeah, the way out is only through the helicopter.
Okay.
So, because Hanbin, he likes to explore and he has so much curiosities. He wants to know what the outside world looks like. So, there's always the mystery of, why are they not allowing us to go out? May qualifications kasi to be the alipores.
Okay.
Okay.
It's either you become the alipores or you become nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, at a
So
certain
Hanbin is the nothing...
not yet, because he has
He
not,
hasn't been
he hasn't
evaluated.
evaluated. So just like Divergent.
Yeah.
Diba? So hindi pa siya na-evaluate, pero he really wanted to go out of the village. Para mas exciting, the day before of the evaluation, he knew that the helicopter will actually get some of the alipores and fly out to get something outside of the village. So what he did, he hid himself in the small compartment of the helicopter. Okay. Nung paglabas niya, so doon niya na-realize na the reason why hindi sila inaalaw, it's due to the fact that it's actually a destroyed city. Nandun lahat ng mga hunters, nandun lahat ng mga wild animals, or gano'n.
May unicorns.
Unicorns, I know. Sheep and unicorns.
So, dahil hindi pa siya handa, hindi siya trained
Oh, yeah.
to
Yeah.
To be
face
there.
the-
Oh,
to
no.
be there.
Okay.
So,
What's gonna happen?
Oh, no.
he will be able to encounter like so many dangers, but
Ah.
at the same time, he would survive
Okay.
to tell the tale. And then yun, hindi ko pa naiisip kung paano siya mag-end.
Okay,
Pero,
yeah.
Dapat merong may wild man outside of the city. Parang kills
Yeah,
the
like,
wild animals. Who saves him?
Yeah.
So si Bobby
It's
ba
Bobby,
yun?
yeah.
Someone who's brought up in the world.
Yeah.
The wasteland.
Yeah. Yeah. Super opposite of like
Diba? So kung paano man siya mag-end, bala na sila.
No, as with all movies in that genre, may pagka-bittersweet.
Oo.
Always.
ending. I mean, parang positive.
Yeah.
but
Oh my god.
I think Bobby will die.
I know.
Yeah, I have a
Hanbin has
feeling
to
the Hanbin
choose between being like
Yeah.
an alipores and like
Oo.
being Kpop.
Kasi,
Or like, that's his ultimate test.
pero I
Kill the, like, wild man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is his ultimate test. Yeah. But to be an Alipares.
Or,
And,
hindi,
I
actually,
choose not to be
understand.
with the village.
Because he's evil and he has lots of secrets. Yeah. Parang during the evaluation, he will, parang it's in his genes that he's gonna be an Alipor.
Yeah, he's like meant
Yeah,
for
so
it.
it's
As with
meant
any
for-
hero,
As with
parang
any-
may something special.
Hindi
Yeah.
lang siya,
kailangan nila.
hindi lang siya ready because he's not trained
Yeah.
and all that.
Ititab pa siya ni Wild Man Bobby. Wild Man Bobby, for the win.
For some weird reason, yung damit pa rin in my top is the same costume that I'm imagining in the dystopia.
Pero may helicopters.
Kaya naman.
Saka wooden helicopter.
Oh.
Game of Thrones style. Basta nakalawa yung clock
Oo,
ng
papasa.
clock.
Oh, may di ba? May
Pwede,
convergence
pwede.
na yung loincloth tsaka yung damit na yun.
Pwede.
Oo. The things that we do for iKON.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So
Mia.
it's PD-nim's turn.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi and Julie.
Okay. Word please.
Bang ding.
Bang
The
dang
dog.
dang.
You should have notepads. I just realized. It's so hard to like brainstorm with that song and with no like writing to
I
it.
don't usually train of thought about something. Okay.
So can you,
Okay.
what's your story?
So imagine a world na ala Star Wars, Star Trek, that there are a lot of like planets and galaxies, and then
Okay.
there are like different creatures talaga, types of creatures who live, and then they're aware of who each other are. So anyway, so we talk about the adventures of a cyborg. I'm thinking half cyborg.
Like Robocop, gano'n.
In a way. Pero, ano naman, huwag naman yung bibig lang yung No, kaya ko siya gawang slightly cyborg kasi I want him to have like special powers. Gawin natin mga random na naman na yung sa umpisa yung parang tipong he doesn't know his origin. He's living in a planet that he knows he doesn't belong. Parang there's something weird. Kaya siya half cyborg. I guess that the type of living creatures in that planet are not like him. I guess yung nag-adopt sa kanya quote-unquote. Also don't know yung like his origins. Of course, palagi na naman the golden child na naman. Like may special origin story.
Yeah.
So it came to the point when he's of age, he has a ship. I think I have to discover like who I am. So he's gonna look for planets, see like who am I? Ganun. Siyempre, along the way may adversity. Dahil nga cyborg siya. He feels that all of these creatures have emotions. Gawin ko na lang siyang parang wala Spock levels. So parang
Okay,
wala
yeah.
masyadong emotions.
Oo, wala siya
Okay.
masyadong
Wala siya
Okay.
emotions. Ganyan,
Uwe.
ganyan. Uwe, ganyan siya. But towards the end, sabi, oh my God, he has emotions because he saw this little dog. Little dog. And he named him Bang Bang. All of a sudden, somehow may draw sa kanya, may affinity. Of course, they don't look like each other.
Parang lukso ng dugo.
Yeah, exactly. Junmai is like thinking, oh my God, like this dog is a key to this path of self-discovery.
Mhm.
Like you hold the answers. But I don't know how it will end. I have a feeling like the planet where the dog is located, part of siya of an extinct race, parang gano'n. So parang natakas lang
pwede.
siya, ganun levels. The dog will lead, I don't know, siguro sa burial ground ng parents.
Yeah.
Something like that. Origin story pala. So parang ito yung next
Wow.
movie.
May
So,
trilogy ba to? Trilogy?
In case it grosses well, may next tayo, yung adventures na talaga niya.
Yeah.
Pero,
Yeah.
so it's not Skywalker.
Yeah, I love it.
Bang Dang is R2D2.
Exactly. Siyempre, adventures na nila. Yun lang, yun yung sci-fi.
That's good. I love it, my world building and all
Ah.
of that.
I have to make ding counting.
Okay.
Oh, it's your turn.
Nice,
Oh,
my
it's
turn
Dane's
again.
turn.
And I got comedy and Jinan.
Wait lang.
I need a word.
I need a word.
Random naman, diba?
Yeah.
So, barbecue. Ayan.
Oh my gosh.
So, parang sa sci-fi ko, integrate yung pagkanta niya ko. Maisip ko.
Gusto ko yung ibon.
Okay.
Okay. Do you guys know Harold and Kumar's trip to White Castle Burger?
I haven't watched it.
Like the premise,
Yeah.
right? So this is kind of like that, where Jinan is in search for this legendary barbecue. So,
Sorry for a visual. We're talking about like barbecue in a barbecue steak. Like,
I'll get
Okay.
So actually, parang medyo dark-ish, pero pwede namang gawing funny siguro yung umpisa. So na-inspire ako about June, not knowing like his origins. So like, Jinan is not sure, parang he lost his memory a bit of his childhood for a bit, because of like a weird freak accident or whatever. But anything beyond that, he's like completely normal and okay. But he can't remember his childhood. But the only thing he remembers of his childhood is his time in this island tropical place. And then the thing that triggers his memory is the smell of barbecue.
Okay.
So like grilled meat that smells really good. But then, being Korean, there's a lot of like Korean barbecue, right? So he tries all of the barbecue in Korea, but it's like, no, this is not it. No, this is not it. This is not the one. And then, like, in his search for the best barbecue, he goes to this underground barbecue grill place. Like, it's where, like, the mob...
Black market.
For barbecue. Like, it's where all the mobsters go to eat. But it's legendary for being, like, the best barbecue people don't know. Probably saw it in Reddit or something. In Korea. And then, somewhere hidden in the depths of that underground barbecue place is this, like, barbecue Yoda. Someone who
He's
knows
like a barbecue
learned,
god, like
he knows everything to do with barbecue. Jinan tries to explain what he remembers, like where it is and what it's like. He remembers it's on a barbecue stick. Ganyan. So then the guru says, like young barbecue barbecue person. Like I know the place you are looking for. It is somewhere in Southeast Asia and he gives all these clues where there are so many coconut trees and the beaches are beautiful and the sun is always shining. So and then he's like, oh, where's that? There can only be like a few places. And then he realizes, it's somewhere in Southeast Asia, so I should just go on a trip there to look for it, but he needs someone to go with him. So it has to be like a buddy comedy.
Yeah, wait, it's not a buddy. Your prompts are all buddies.
I know. Like I like ships. So then he ends up with, I don't know why, Yoon Young, who happens to be vegetarian. Oh no! But then like, because Yoon Young's such a good friend, he's like, okay, I'll go with you. And he's like super eager to help, but Jinan's like, but you're vegetarian. So parang may tension din sila and ang daming misadventures kasi when they go to a restaurant, Yoon Young always has to ask, oh, what are the veggie options? So, and of course, like the barbecue place is like, you came to a barbecue place, why are you looking for like veggie options? Eventually, the ending is he finds out that the barbecue place he's looking for, I'm sure you know where it is, right? It's in Davao, where he apparently stayed for a bit when he was a kid. And there's like a nice barbecue place and he likes going through there. Yeah, which is derived from like an actual thing that he likes to do.
Tapos sasakit din yung chan.
At saka, sasakit din yung ilong niya.
Yeah, and those words will come back to him like, oh, my childhood. And then it actually helps like cure his memory.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my story.
Wow. Also in touch with regular life.
I know, I try to pull from the real details.
Yeah,
Good
just like
job.
you young with the family. Wait, we barbecue. Your two prompts both have.
I know. Well, it's Yoon Young's fault, I think.
Hey guys, that concludes episode 7 of Kony's podcast. Catch part 2 of iKON Film Festival in episode 8 in the next few weeks. In the meantime, please follow and subscribe to our podcast channels. Just search Kony's podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, Anchor, Breaker, Radio Public, and the newly uploaded Overcast. Yay! So on behalf of Dane, iKONfastfiction, and PD-nim, This has been Pau, iKONpicfics, in Stan Twitter, saying thank you so much for listening to Connie's podcast, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye!
Hey ladies,